All right, today we are going to visit the order of operations. So the order of operations is not anything new to you, probably. However, having integers with the order of operations might be new. So the steps haven't changed. The first thing we're going to do is parentheses, which include all grouping symbols, brackets, parentheses, working from the inside out. Step 2 is to do any of the exponents in our problem. Step 3 is to multiply and divide in order from left to right. That doesn't mean multiplying always comes before dividing. They are equally important, and you will do them in order from left to right. And the final step is to add or subtract from left to right. So let's try this first example here. We have 2 squared plus 5 times the quantity 7 minus 3 divided by 10. So first we're going to check for parentheses, and we see them right here. So 7 minus 3 is 4. That's the only thing I'm going to do for this next line. So everything else I'm just going to copy down. I know that it takes longer and takes up more space when you only do one operation per line, but you're more likely to get it right because you're going slow and being careful and showing all of your work. So now that we don't have any parentheses, we do have the parentheses around the 4, but that just means to multiply 5 times 4. There isn't anything to be done inside those parentheses. So the next thing we're going to look for is exponents, which we see right here. 2 squared is 4. And again, I'm just going to copy everything else down and just do one operation per step. Now we're continuing on to step 3, which is to multiply or divide in order from left to right. So the first multiplication or division part that I see here is 5 times 4 to give me 20. This next step is what would trick people. A lot of people want to add the 4 and the 20 next, but we're still on step 3 where we're doing all the multiplying or dividing before adding or subtracting. So the very next thing I need to do is 20 divided by 10, which is 2, and my last step is to add. And my answer is 6. All right, the next example, we're going to follow those steps again. So we're looking for parentheses. Here we have 3 plus 4, which is 7. Everything else I'm just going to copy from the original problem. The only thing I did was the parentheses. Everything else I just recopied. Now I'm going to look for exponents. I don't see any exponents, so I'll go to step 3 where I'm going to divide or multiply in order from left to right. In this particular problem, the first thing I see here is negative 80 divided by 10. Remember, a negative divided by a positive is always a negative. Anytime you have one positive and one negative, the answer is negative. Everything else I'm just copying. And then I'm going to multiply before I subtract. So negative 8 times positive 8 is negative 64. And then I have negative 64 minus 7. If you'd like to set up a little scoreboard over here, you can. And you'll see that we have 64 negatives and 7 more negatives for a total of 71 negatives and no positives. And the last example has a big fraction. Anytime you have a big fraction like that, you're going to do the numerator and the denominator separately, still following the order of operations, and then the last step would either be to divide or simplify that final fraction that you have. So in the numerator, I'm going to do the exponents first. Negative 4 times negative 4 is positive 16, because a negative times a negative is a positive. And then I'm going to recopy everything else. The next step is to multiply. I want to multiply before adding, so 2 times 3 is 6. And then the last step is to add these 2 to get 22. In the denominator, I have this double negative that I'm going to change to adding. So, I like to rewrite that so I don't see that, weird double positive or double negative there, which gives me 11. And on that last step, I have 22 over 11, which we know simplifies to just 22. 11 goes into 22 twice. Now, if that fraction did not divide out evenly to a whole number, you would just simplify it. Thanks for watching.